So how did you start? Like, that's a good question.
Oh my God, that is a good question.
How'd you break into this industry?
Fashion?
Like, yeah, fashion.
So I was 17 and my brother was dating a wardrobe stylist. I didn't know what that was. I always wanted to design. You know, from a young age, I just always wanted my own clothing line. 19, I started a website called that'soakiba.com.
Wait, what was it?
Do you know That's So Raven? Did you ever watch That's So Raven on Disney Channel?
No, I never watched it.
Okay, whatever. I did, and my friends would, like, in school were always like, that's so Akiba, like only she could pull that off, you know? My last name was my first name in school.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just gonna start a website, that's soakiba.com. Everyone's gonna know it, right? So I started selling clothes on that. But then I would style on the side. So I started interning for a couple magazines, and one thing led to another, and they're like, all right, can you be the lead stylist on this shoot? And I'm like, oh my God, sure, like, you know? And then I would steal everything from my mom's closet. I mean, I had no money. I wasn't like, I didn't have credit cards. I was super young.
Right.
Still in college. I went to University of Miami, studied communications. I wanted to back up, so business comm. And, you know, one thing led to another. I was in school also doing that. Then my dad passes, and it's like when it rains, it pours. So we were losing our house. One of my brothers kind of went into a situation. Two other brothers are like in their own situations. You know, everyone deals with grief differently. So panic mode of like, okay, now I need to make money, you know, like no food in the fridge type vibe. And I grew up beautifully. We lived in a beautiful home, you know, thank God my parents really like came from nothing and built something beautiful together. But she was just like, you know, you have to get to work. Like, I can't pay for anything anymore. So 21, and it's like, all right, here's college, $100,000 in debt, and everything else. You know, we got to sell our house. I got to move into my own place, et cetera, et cetera. So I was giving back, and then had 2 waitress jobs, and then also styling on the side. And, you know, I it took one moment. So I was waitressing at a place, I won't say the name, I almost said the name, that'd be messed up. And the boss, I dropped orange juice. So we just got this new fresh squeeze orange juice machine, you know, those ones that cut. Yeah. So they were like popping at the time. Like This was like the new machine to get. And I had dropped the plate of them. And the owner went off. You're so stupid, like cursing, like, you're so effing stupid. How could you drop the orange? You're gonna pay for those, it's coming out of your paycheck. And I remember just like taking a moment, and I could feel my dad in this moment. I was like, okay. I'm like, you know, my dad taught me resilience, and like, you know, you could be whoever you wanna be. And I remember there was one orange juice left on the table that I couldn't put on the platter, and I took it and I went, boop, and I dropped it on the floor. And I said, I will never work for anyone again. I literally pointed in this man's face. This is like a 50-year-old man. I'll never work for anyone again. And I left, started my own business. And I told, you know, I had help from my brother. I was like, can you lend me $1,500 to pay my rent for like the next few months? He did. And, you know, a couple cans and would eat those for a little while and then started my own business. And I was like, all right, this is it. Like, this is what I want to do. So helping people, styling, and then the lab just little by little. And then, you know, started selling merch. I was just trying to figure out like what would pick up. And I'd make like a couple dollars here, a couple dollars. And then it took one client, Jay Cortez, and blew me up. Yeah.
So how long before you got the big client?
So I would get like big gigs, like, you know, Lil Uzi Vert's team called me.
Okay.
So I had them for 3 days. And I'd get that gig, and then for like 6 months, nothing. Like, this is something like, you know, in the game, like, you never know what you're gonna get. You don't know if tomorrow you're gonna get a call. You don't know for 6 months if nobody wants you. Right. You're still a freelancer. So
you're almost like an artist.
You are, yeah.
To a certain extent.
Totally. Unless you're like doing the work. Now we have social media, so there's plenty of different opportunities you can take if you choose to. And I would say from 21 to 25 was like just getting my foot in the door. I don't know if you know who Yes Jules is.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Jules was like my first client.
The only reason I know is because of Kanye.
Yeah. So Jules, like, she was my foot in the door, honestly.
Okay.
You know, and she put me in all the right rooms, and she would like really like just hype me up and be like, "This is Sarah Akiba. She's the best wardrobe stylist." Like, I was working for free for her, and she would fly me out with Travis Scott. She would do this. So it was just about networking and making a name for myself. And I think what really made it or break it for me is that I never slept with anyone in the industry. And I think that's really, really big for a woman in my industry to say, I never flirted with anyone, and I never slept with anyone. And that's why I have the respect I have today, and that's why I get called back. Right. 100%.
Yeah.
Never personal. Some clients will say, you never come out with us. And I'm like, no, but I love you, you know,
right.
But I won't. It's just a line.
Say no
I don't
to the
cross.
Diddy parties. I get it.
Absolutely. Thank God, right?
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I think so from the time, sorry, it went off topic, but I think 21 to 25, networking, 25, ended up in the Latin industry because of Jose. I'll always shout him out. He's the owner of Filmhead's best director that I've ever worked with in my entire life, who put me in the right rooms too. And I think it all stemmed from respect for one another and loving my work and creativeness. Like, we sometimes had no budget where, like, we were in the studio for a J Balvin music video and there was literally like a tablecloth. We had a model come on and I was like, we're gonna have to make it from the tablecloth. Like, there's no way. Ripped it off and made her maybe the illest outfit still to this day that I've ever done.
Yeah, I gotta see this.
So it's 21
By the
to
way,
25
talk about
and then
a beautiful human. J Balvin's amazing.
He's amazing.
Amazing.
You know, the Latin industry, I always say, like, the urban industry was the worst industry I've ever worked with. Never afraid to say it. I've never been so disrespected in my entire life because they think I'm white. I'm actually Moroccan Jew. And there is that. It's very real. And the Latin industry, the way that they say a la orden, it's like, I'm at your service. But, like, really, I'm at your service. Like, I'm here for... And it's just gorgeous. Yeah. Like, J Balvin would pick up a bag and bring it for me.
Oh, yeah. Like,
do you know what I'm saying? Like,
he came to my gym a bunch of times and was just so pleasant.
Yes.
Always asking, like, almost to your point, like, what he could do to help.
Absolutely.
Instead of the other way around.
He means
and we're
it,
like,
though.
You're J Balvin.
Yeah,
like,
but he means it.
You know, and this is at like 4 a.m.
Yes.
You know?
It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm really, really blessed to have gotten to meet people like that. Yeah. And, you know, Ed Sheeran, another client like that. Like, he'd be like, Sarah, what do you think of this song? And I'm like, you're Ed Sheeran. Who cares what I think of this song? But he means it. Like, these people, you know, they're just humans at the end of the day. And I say my job is, like a wardrobe stylist, but I'm just here to make you look good, to feel good, to do good.
I've had some, like, so I used to train artists, and like Scott Stapp, former lead singer of Creed, he would say, hey, get in the car with me. And we would listen to all his new songs, and he would literally be like, you know, so what do you think?
Yeah.
And he was dead serious.
And excited.
And excited to hear like what I thought of it. And then I would like give him my honest feedback, but feeling kind of stupid doing it.
Right.
You know? And then he would literally take it and then like go in the studio and like make little changes and stuff.
It's amazing.
And then Danja and Rico Love are 2 close friends of mine.
Amazing.
And they're great. They're also like, I would say they represent the urban side in a very respectful way. Like,
amazing.
To completely
I probably just had a really bad experience.
No, of course. And you're not wrong.
And
like
with like 6 or 7, it's not just one. That was the thing. It was 6, 7 times. And I'm like, they've called me and been like, we'll give you $40,000 for 1 day shoot. And I'm like, no amount of money. No amount of money is worth my respect. I don't care. Yeah. You know, like, I just think that's so huge.
Well, when I was down here in the early 2000s, I saw it in the video girls. Like,
oh yeah, but I think it's because other women, I don't think it's their fault to the artists. I think also a lot of women allow this, and that doesn't help. It doesn't help. I think.
Well, and there's really also a narrative that you have to do it to be successful. Like, there's this
maybe I just have a stronger personality. I've never felt that. Yes.
So, well, I think, again, doesn't affect everybody the same.
Right.
Everybody's different. But I think that a lot of vulnerable women, young, think that, oh, this is how you get to the top.
I have to do it. That's right. No, totally makes sense. Totally makes sense.
I mean, you're seeing a lot of that play out even on social media, that women are thinking like the only way I can
show your body and make money.
Show my body, show my body, show my body, show my body. When they're missing out on
100%. I mean, listen, I think about it. I'm like,
else.
OnlyFans, like, these girls are making $1 million a month. Is this true?
It's wild.
Like it's weird. But sometimes I think, I'm like, am I doing something wrong here? You know what I mean? But listen, whatever.
Yeah, I asked my wife, I was like, you know, well, maybe we should just massage your feet, you know, like.
What do you mean? All the time, like, I have cute toes. I could do this. Like,
because supposedly, like, the number one OnlyFans account is a toe, is like,
yeah,
feet
there you go.
What's
that movie? Don't Be a Menace in the South Side. What, you know,
I know what you're talking
with the ketchup on the toes.
Yes,
like,
so
listen.
bizarre. No, our world is so crazy. I had a real estate agent show me, like, she was selling like a ton of houses, and she was showing me who was buying the house, and they have to get like like tax returns and stuff, and it was all OnlyFans, and the amount of money it was mind-boggling. Like, and here's what I say: this is the sad part. Who are these losers that are actually paying for this? Because that's to me,
it's true.
Like, I don't knock the people doing it.
Right.
Like, they're actually, I mean,
they're making money. Listen, millions of dollars. Like,
but who are these losers?
Paying the thing.
Paying it.
That's true.
That's what's so, and what it is a bunch of beta men.
You think so?
I think it is. It's just a bunch of losers. So.
I don't know anyone who actually has OnlyFans on their phone.
Who has that time to sit around and watch, basically porn all day long, and you're paying for it? It's bizarre. It's just bizarre. So weird.
I always thought, what if you kind of used OnlyFans and like, let's say you're doing like a get ready with me and you want to see my full outfit and me to tell you who it is. Would people pay for that?
Yes. So I was literally about to just say that there's jiu-jitsu coaches on OnlyFans.
Who will use their techniques.
OnlyFans is not just for like porn.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
It's actually a legitimate site for boxing trainers. There's personal trainers on there. There's like.
Do they make money?
And they supposedly make money. Again.
See, supposedly doesn't sell me yet.
No, it doesn't.
Like, should I get on OnlyFans and show my outfit? Like, do people actually care?
Oh, I can't. There's no way a part of me could be like, I'm on OnlyFans. Check me out. Yeah, I just couldn't do it.
No, it has a bad rep now.
Yeah, I don't know. And I feel like you could make money doing it off of like Instagram, Twitter, YouTube.
I need to make more money.
So, we can talk about that. We can get you going.
Love that.
You should be, with your skill set, you should be.
I know. I think it's.
And again, I don't know I'm sure you're doing great.
I do. Listen, I live. Thank God. I'm blessed.
I saw your Tesla truck.
I'm so blessed. Yeah, I'm so blessed. Yeah, I got the Cybertruck. I'm super proud. And I never think it's like an egotistical. I'm just so fucking proud of myself. Like, I'm a 32-year-old girl who lost the backbone of her family, and we're all coming up. Like, I talk about it with my brothers, and they're like, damn, but you're on the same level as us. And that's pretty fucking cool. Like, it is cool. With my older brothers that I look up to, like, they're all so amazing.
Are they all here?
One in North Carolina and 2 here.
What part of North Carolina?
Rutherford. There's only 1,500 people living there.
All right.
And they're just...
My co-packer's in Charlotte, so I go to Charlotte often.
All the time. You should go check out my brother. He's probably the best human you'll ever meet. Like, you talk about that guy, his Sandy Saka. Sandy. Shout out to Sandy. Yes. I heard your story. Amazing. Yeah. But my brother is one of the kindest souls. And, when we talk about, like, losing my dad, he had the hardest time, but what a come up. I always say... I teach my students your struggle's your superpower. Mm-hmm. Your struggle's your superpower. And like, wow, was his struggle his superpower? Like best father, best husband, and like really being at the bottom and coming up. And like, I feel blessed. Like, I feel like I get to have that Cybertruck, and it didn't come from nothing. Like, as a young girl who my brothers were always like, what the fuck do you even do? Like, what do you do for a living? And I'm like, don't worry about it. Yeah. Because if it were up to them, I'd be working with my mom in her store, which is, there's nothing wrong with that, but I had a bigger vision, and I still do. And I feel really, really lucky that I get to be successful.
And if you don't mind, like going back to that moment of when, the darkest part.
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like a lot of people, everyone deals with these kind of things in their own way, whether it's loss or stress or selfish or whatever it is, whatever your story is. But a lot of people have those moments. I guess just go back and talk about like what you felt like got you like completely out of that, or maybe not even completely. Like, what do you think was the reason why, for example, you just said like you're fucking proud of yourself.
Yeah.
But
I've never said that before, by the way.
Which I love that, by the way. I'll touch on that real fast.
Yes, please.
I'm building out this 12,000 square foot new headquarters in Little River.
Wow.
And I went by yesterday, and I never give myself flowers, like ever. Like, you know what I mean? I'm always thinking about the next thing.
Yes.
I'm always checking the boxes. I'm my worst critic. Every single time I go into the Wynwood gym, I'm pointing out what's dirty and what's crooked and what's like, I can't see.
You can't unsee that stuff.
I can't unsee. I just can't. I'm always like,
well, that's why you're a leader.
Perfectionist is not like a word that I like to use, but it's that, right? So like I'll give you an example. The day I opened the Wynwood location, I was negotiating Little River the next day.
Shit.
And we were like celebrating grand openings, but I was already doing the other thing.
Wow.
So, but yesterday, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. I was walking around the new facility, the construction site. It's hard to even say. It's the first time where I was actually proud of myself.
Wow.
I was like, holy shit, I'm doing this. Like I'm actually doing this. It was pretty fucking cool. So
But,
when you said like, I fucking, am proud of myself, like it reminded me of that moment that I had with myself in
that
huge. Space,
Where do you-
because you gotta, I think in order to keep this up, you do have to celebrate some wins. You can't only beat yourself
Otherwise,
up.
what are we doing?
Exactly.
What are we doing?
Like, what are we
here?
doing?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get emotional.
Are you kidding? I adore you right now. I didn't know you well, but like, you're amazing. You're amazing.
Now, say what Israel Adesanya said in his press conference. He cried and everybody was making fun of him. And he literally said, I can cry and whoop your ass at the same time.
Love that
and I
shit.
love that because
Love
that's
that.
like true. Like there's some bullshit narrative that men can't show emotion, and it's a crock of shit. Like it's bullshit.
I grew up with 3 Moroccan brothers and a Moroccan dad. It was about being the men, being
Right.
strong, hard men. And my brothers are still like that. I don't think I never see my brothers cry. I think one story really that touches, like how I said we all handle things differently, is last year was the 10 years of my dad. He's buried in Israel. My father was very big on, loving where we're from. And he said the one thing, if I die, bury me in Israel. And you're buried in the ground there. So there's no casket. It's just your body in the earth.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very special. And
in Jerusalem?
it's not Jerusalem. He's in Nahariya, which is actually in the north, where right now it's not looking good. But I just went to see him a month ago, and everyone's like, don't go up there. And I'm like, I can't. This is the one time a year I get to come see my dad. And but my brother John and I, we didn't get along after my dad. I think he just took on this role of he felt like he had to save all of us. And everyone handles it differently. But last year, on the 10 years, the night my dad passed away, it was just me and him. And my dad's eyes basically turned white. And it's like he was like turned into an angel, Wow. And he kept just asking my brother and I, like, can you give me the key? Give me the key. And we're like, what key, Dad? What key? And sorry. But it was, so 10 years later, we found ourselves that same night, 10 years later, John and I just sitting outside in Tel Aviv, Israel, 3:00 in the morning. And I'm like, why are you so hard on me all the time? Like, why can't you just like open up? Like, we love you. Like, you're so hard on us. And I think for him, it was like, he's like, because I just love you guys. And it's so hard to not have that man behind us, And it was the first time he just bawled. And like, as a man, I was just like, I think it just like opened him up. And then he found love. He like found true love, and he's marrying that girl now. Swear to God, the day after, like, met the love of his life.
Yeah.
I met her cousin, who I'm now marrying.
No way.
I swear to God on my life, it ended
That's
up being
crazy.
like, we met at a wedding. We were at just this random wedding, and like,
In
here
Tel
we
Aviv?
are in Tel Aviv, partying, having
And
a good
that's Adam?
time. That's Adam.
Oh, wow.
That's my guy. And it's just like, it opened that, like, when you cry, you just you break that like shelter. And I think as a man, it's even more important. Like, that narrative is so fake.
Oh yeah, it's
It's
crazy.
so fake. And like, just to touch on that, but like, it's big. It opens doors. Here we are just crying.
I know, right? People eat this shit up though, so
Yeah,
it's good.
it's good. It's
If
good.
it's real,
We're
it's
doing good.
Yeah. But so take me back, because
Yes.
I think I butchered the actual. I interrupted the actual question.
Tell me.
So in that dark time,
Yes.
like, what was the thing that got you through it? Because I think the thing that stood out, like, as I listened to your story, when you say, like, where you are today, I also understand. I understand how long it takes to get
a
to where
long
you are
time.
today, and the commitment. And then another thing that stood out to me too is you said you work for free often.
Still
and I
do.
think people, there's really a lesson there for younger people.
Oh my God.
Because I have continued to try to give people opportunity.
Absolutely.
And open doors. And all they ask about is, well, what am I getting paid? Well, what's my salary? What's my bonus? What's this? What's that?
It kills me. And that, I think that's why I can't keep an employee. I'm like, you know what? If you're here for the money, you should leave now.
Yeah.
You need to love your job.